Hey, Steve here. Welcome to another Monday Guitar Motivation. This is live. I am here. I was able to make it, which is great. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about choosing the right song to develop some skills, okay? So, hey, how you doing out there? Thank you so much for being here. So one of the things that I find a lot when I used to teach private lessons was that, all of us like to learn songs that we enjoy. And so we'll get involved in a song and, you'll be going along and the song will be going great. And then you'll get to a certain measure or a certain segment and then it becomes really difficult and we get stuck. And so what's really important is to find songs that develop skills that you're interested in working on instead of the other way. Now, don't get me wrong. Learning songs because you want to learn them is absolutely wonderful. But it's also really nice to say to yourself, okay, I need to work on finger picking, or I need to work on alternate picking, or I need to work on sweeping, or whatever it is, or I need to work on some scales, or changing between strings, or whatever the technique might be. That's what I need to work on, and so I need to find a song that fits that category, all right? Just real quick here, Todd is here. Thank you, Todd, for being here. Synchronicity 676, Domingo is here, Kelly is here, Greg Katz is here, Amy is here, Richard is here. Thank you, and there's a bunch more people, and I just thank you, everybody, for being here. This is awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's first talk about the art of this. So let's say I wanted to learn how to do some alternate picking. Or let's just start with down picking. So let's say I was working on maybe Master of Puppets or whatever it might be. Again, I'm just using some random songs here. But if you started doing, what you'd start thinking about is all of the techniques that are involved in just that little segment, from palm muting to single note picking to chord playing, trying to move back and forth between the palm muting and the strumming, whatever it might be. And so instead of just being hell-bent on getting to the end of the song or the end of the riff or whatever, really try and focus in on what it is that you're trying to improve upon. Because in a situation like Master of Puppets, it's not just about speed, it's about the techniques that you're utilizing while you're learning how to play that. And that's very important for you to think about, because to get to the level of your guitar playing to where it sounds good to both you and to a listener, it's very important that you focus on all of the elements. So as you're practicing that, you might start thinking to yourself, well, I need a little more work on my palm muting, or I need to work on just developing some down picking with palm muting, or moving back and forth. Learning how to palm mute and then move to the next string, anything like that. Michael is here, Cedric is here, Mike is here, Eric is here, Doug says, hey, dude. Glad you're here, Doug. Matt Salas is here, awesome. Claudio is here. So again, thank you, everybody, for being here. This is great. So you'll notice what I'm doing with this riff then is I'm breaking it down and trying to think about all of the elements that I might need. Maybe I need to think about my fingering. Let's look at this one. So if I was looking at again, it could be anything, but if I was looking at technical difficulties by Racer X, so I'm thinking. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what note am I starting on, and is it a down pick or an up pick? What do I need the most there, and what's going to feel most comfortable for me? If I start with an upstroke, it might feel really awkward, or it might feel, just perfect. That's things that I have to think about when I'm practicing. Okay. Hello, Mom. My mom is out there. How you doing? Steven is out there. Jude is out there. Ken is out there. Thank you so much for being here. So let's move on then. Let's say I was looking at... So we have down picking, we have alternate picking, maybe something with alternate picking you would look at would be like YYZ by Rush, Just that. So you're trying to figure out, again, what are you going to do? Now, with this one, because it's all straight, I might just alternate pick the whole time, obviously. But that last note, is that a down or an up? And I want to work on that, try and develop that a little bit. Maybe you're looking for something that's more scalular in sense. So maybe, that sort of thing, or you know, whatever it might be that you're interested in, but taking a piece of it, instead of just worrying about the whole song, looking at that one element and deciding, how is this going to be done in terms of execution? You know, what fingers am I going to be using? How am I approaching this with a pick? And even positionally, sometimes even positionally, like not necessarily in the examples I'm giving you right now, but there are times when you might be learning how to play something. You know, a prime example is Cliffs of Dover, as a matter of fact, with that one, where I learned how to play that a long time ago, pretty much by ear, and trying to figure out how things went, which was kind of a nightmare because that's a hard song to try and figure out that way. But just to show you, when I play it, I play the riff here. Because it feels more comfortable to me when I play it, and that's the way I learned it because I was learning it by ear, and it made more sense to me. So, and I know that Eric Johnson doesn't play it there. It doesn't matter to me where he does or doesn't play it relative to what I'm doing. I'm the one that has to play it, but that's my point, is trying to figure out how you're going to execute it. Not just, you know, yes, you want to think about the fingering that you're using. You want to think about the picking that you're using, any dynamics that you're using, palm muting, you know, different kinds of things like that. But then also think about the position that you're playing it in, whether or not that's going to be comfortable for you as well. Now, let's say I switched over to a clean channel here. Maybe you're working on finger picking. You know, I used to use Dust in the Wind all the time as a song to teach finger picking because it has a consistent pattern to it that you can develop to get used to it and not just, you know, randomly using your fingers wherever. So if that kind of makes sense, that's what you want to try and work on. And I think that's a great topic for us to discuss for this week's Monday Guitar Motivation, is using songs to your advantage, using a segment of a song and not feeling guilty because you're not learning the entire song, but finding something in there. You know, I used to love to play Antisocial by Anthrax. The Anthrax version is the one that I knew. But, you know, with the... I used to love to play that one because it was a great exercise in downpicking. So playing that song was always fun. And then when you play along with the Anthrax version, they keep getting faster and faster as the song goes on. So it gets a little more challenging as you keep going, but it's a lot of fun to do. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of things to think about, and also just the perspective in terms of practicing and, you know, not just learning songs at random, which is great again, but learning songs for specific reasons because they can give you certain skills to develop, and maybe it's just that one segment that you're going to try and work on. All right? So everybody take care, have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon, okay? And be sure that if you need any guitar lesson needs, you head over to guitarzoom.com. We have an all-access membership now that you get everything, all my guitar courses, my VIP lessons, everything. And then we have monthly meetings, too, where we all get together and hang out live online and stuff like that, too. So thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful